People, welcome back to Little Rad TV. So we have a video today by Officer Tatum. I'm gonna put the link in the description down below. Basically, it's him talking to black liberals and changing their minds. So let's hop straight into it.
I wanted to agree with you. It was a conversation you were having with the other dude.
Oh, somebody actually agrees with him. Okay, this is not normal whenever he goes to college campuses, but hey, that's good.
As black people, we do victimize ourselves a lot. I see it in our community, and I used to be one of those black people who were like, I really like almost had this hatred for white people because that's what all they were showing me until I actually went out and I started to go places and I started to see.
And that's the thing. That's the reason why a lot of these black people, a lot of black people have this mindset of being a victim is because they don't actually go out and see in the world. Like they're so caught in their own mindset that they don't even realize that if they actually do the stuff themselves and actually go out and study and actually see what's going on in the world and actually think that they can do stuff, that they would be way ahead of where they are right now. But she said it perfectly. She was stuck in a bubble basically, and when she actually took herself out of that bubble, whether she went out, she went to different states, or she went to go see other stuff and actually read things, it's this whole systemic racism thing is like it's not true, bro. It's not real.
Interacting with white people, and I was seeing how not every white person was bad, and it was shocking me how they were so nice. And so basically I just want to say slavery, that is a very sensitive topic. However, my personal opinion is that we're in 2024 and it's a new time.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying forget about it, but I just feel like we as black people shouldn't just sit around and mope about it.
Yeah, nobody, and this is what the black community doesn't understand. It's like black people like me who don't believe in this whole, we are behind because of white people idea. And the whites, they're not saying that, racism doesn't exist, or they're not saying that racism never happened or slavery never happened. But it's like, bro, it's 2025. Why are you still stuck in that 19 or 1800s mindset where you think that somebody of another race is superior to you? No, we're all a leveled playing field. We're literally playing the same game. We just have different results because certain people of a certain demographic, the black people, think that the whites are still superior to them. Like white people, the attitude from white people towards black people majority of the time is like so kind, bro. Like, trust me, they're good people.
All day. Every time I get on another social media platform, all they talk about is slavery, and I understand that is very important. It's a very sensitive topic, and I don't want to be desensitive to it, like insensitive to it, but I understand it. However, I just feel like it's more to us as a black community.
Definitely more to us.
Like in schools, all they teach us is we are known as the people who were oppressed. I feel like we are a very creative people. We are very fun. We play a very key role in the making of America today, in society today. And I just feel like we are more than just slavery. We are more than just the people who were killed. We are more than just the people who were once illiterate. And a lot of people
we can actually read and write now. Black people can actually read and write now. Like, bro, like that's such a crazy like progression since like when not even me, like, or ancestors never used to be able to do that. Like, bro, the fact that you can do that means that you're on the same level playing field as everybody else. You have the same opportunity, bro.
Argue about black rights, but I definitely feel like it went downhill once we decided to dwell in civil rights, because I feel like they only do what, in some sense, to an extent, they can only do what we allow. 100%. How we had schools, but we chose to mope around and cry about them not letting us into their schools. It's like we have to make it like you said, we have to.
My guy in the back trying to figure out what's going on. He's like, what's going on?
That we have and play the cards that we're dealt. Like, I just feel like constantly staying stuck in this victim mindset that every white person is out to get us. I just feel like...
Hey, listen, man, I'm just happy I'm not the only one who sees it and calls it out for what it is, man. Black people just have this mindset that, everybody's against them. The white man is out to get them. And Bro, I just can't understand it. And I've said it many times on my channel or actually on my TikTok and Instagram. Like, bro, I just don't understand like how you can think so low of yourself that you think that because another person is a different color than your skin, they're ahead of you and they have some superpower that gets them, makes them get certain things that you don't. No, bro, you have the same opportunities, man.
I
It's
think,
very.
yeah, we agree. We agree. You know, it's interesting because I would imagine that every single person standing here would agree with you, right? I mean, I don't know how trying to get black people exposure as being greater than just this victim mentality, how is that bad? You know, we know about the martyrs.
These ads, oh my God, bro, they always kill me, man.
Yeah, dog. Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
But we don't know about the successful black people that have
Right.
done so many great things in America.
Right.
Like the automatic transmission in a motor vehicle today, a black man made it. The stoplight, a black man.
Yeah.
Black people have invented so many things. We don't know who invented what, but
Right.
we know who the last one that got killed by a police officer.
Right.
George
Right.
Floyd
Right.
got so much coverage, which I think what happened to him was wrong.
Right.
But my God, they made a statue out of the guy. But they won't even talk about Ben Carson. Most people don't even know who Ben Carson. I mean, I won't say most. I hope that most people know who Ben Carson.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you're black and you don't know who Ben Carson is, bro,
Raise your hand if you know who Ben Carson is. Oh my God.
one of the most successful black men in America, and he doesn't get talked. He doesn't get talked about half as much as George Floyd did, or George Floyd does. Crazy. And this is
You guys don't know
this
Ben
this is
Carson?
another example of black people just like focusing on the bad things. Oh, they did this to us. But what about just like Officer Tatum is saying right here, what about the people that have actually done something? What about the actual black people why aren't they getting their credit? And it's not because white people aren't talking about it. No, trust me, white people give them their flowers. But it's just the black community being so set back on like, oh, they did this to George Floyd. They don't talk about Ben Carson. And I would hope, like Officer Tatum said, like, bro, if you're black and you don't know who Ben Carson is, like, bro, come on, get a grip.
Right here. Y'all know Ben Carson is?
He's just making sure.
He ran for president. He is one of the greatest black men to ever
One of the
live.
greatest.
And it's crazy that we know George Floyd, but we don't
Yeah.
know Ben Carson.
Yeah.
It's, you know, Ben Carson, a neurosurgeon, he the first person in world history to separate conjoined twins at the head. Nobody in the world has ever done that. Ben Carson was the first. He is one of the greatest men that lived. He's brilliant. He came from
Very
humble
smart.
beginnings. His mama was poor. His mama couldn't read. That guy had an incredible story, and we should know him more than we know these other people.
Yeah. And I feel like.
It does. So you know who he is. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And I just feel like, as a society, we should magnify black success more than we talk about black oppression.
Right.
And, I feel like we as a people, I feel like there's a spiritual warfare on a human race,
Yeah.
not just black people, because we're not the only people in time who's ever been oppressed. Like,
Right.
there's
Yeah, I
other
swear,
races-
bro. Like, this is another theme too. Like, bro, I swear, these black people that be complaining about being behind or the white people are ahead of them, or white people have white privilege, or whatever the hell they want to call it, bro. They swear that we are the only people who have ever been oppressed. Nobody else but the black race has been oppressed. Crazy.
that has been through things too. It's just that we magnify ours more, and we, kind of dwell in that a little.
She took the
more.
words right out of my mouth,
I just
man.
feel like, all in all,
You have a question in there? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just want to say, I really just want to say something because
Yeah.
I just feel like it's kind of crazy to, I just feel like division is stupid.
Right, and let me tell you this. When people say, is America racist? I don't think systemically America is racist. I think that there's people that are unsuspected actors that are racist against black people, and they are our friends, our allies.
Yeah.
The Democrat Party, people do not know the history of this. I didn't. I had to learn this. They're the party of slavery.
A lot of black people don't know this. The Democratic Party is actually the party of slavery.
The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment that was signed was unanimously supported by Republicans, not Democrats.
Right.
Democrats filibustered the Civil Rights
Exactly.
Act. Democrats were the party of slavery. They used the KKK as the Democrat enforcement arm. And then they say the party switch and they get away with
It's
it.
crazy,
It's
bro.
insane to me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. If you loved black people, what would politicians do? Not give you a handout. They'll
Right,
go down and look
right,
at that school
right.
and say, why is this school failing?
Yeah.
Let's get people an adequate education so they
Yeah.
can perform.
Yeah, bro. That's another mindset that the black community has too. They think that they deserve a handout. No, you don't, bro. You work for what you have. You work for what you want. If you work hard enough, you get it. If you don't get it. Simple. It's plain black and white. There's no way around it. There's no ring a rosy. No. Either you work hard, you achieve it, or you don't have the facilities, you don't have the qualities, you don't have the minerals to work hard, and you don't achieve nothing. It's that simple.
And they don't want to do that. They want you to be ignorant.
Yeah.
They want you to have poor schools. They want crime to be rampant in your community. They put abortion clinics on every corner. They got a liquor store on every corner. They put drugs in the community because they know people are gonna sell it to each other. All of this. And what do? We call them our ally.
And
Crazy.
that's
Let me
just-
say this one thing. If a person tells you that that white supremacy or white privilege is a thing, that person is lying to
It's
you.
not, bro.
They hate you and they want you to always feel inferior to
I'm gonna just go ahead and confirm and back up what Officer Tatum is saying just for a little second here. White privilege, in my mind, there's no white privilege, bro. Zero. And if you're a black person and you believe that white privilege still exists in America, I'm not saying it never used to exist, right? Because obviously we had slavery, obviously, right? But if you live in America today, 2025, and you still think that white privilege is a thing, bro, you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, like, just ask God Himself to repair your brain, because I don't know what's going on up there, but it ain't the right thing, because white privilege is not a thing.
There is nothing. Hold on, wait a minute. Be respectful to the young lady here. If you got a question, you can go next. Okay, just be respectful to the young lady. So, if they really was honest, they would.
Oh, that boy itchy. Yo.
Black people to feel and believe that they're just as good as anybody
Yeah,
else.
right.
Not tell you that some white person somewhere is better than you.
Yeah.
I mean, white people poor too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you guys who are at this university, especially speaking to the black people, what a white person on campus can do that you can't do?
Yeah.
You go to the same
Yeah, for real
classes.
though. What can a white person on a college campus that you go to the same school, you study the same class, you read the same books, what can they do that you can't? Nothing. Literally the definition of an even playing field. But yet still, we still have African Americans complaining about whites being better than them. No, you have the same resources. Guess what? The difference is that white person is taking lemons and making lemonade. You're taking the lemons, and I don't know what the hell you're trying to make. I don't know what you're trying to make. I don't know what you're trying to make with those lemons. But maybe take a page out of their book. They're actually using lemons to make lemonade. You need to, whatever you made with them lemons, you need to throw it out and put it in the garbage bin. Because trust me, there's nothing, like Officer Tatum just said, there's nothing that a white person in America or on a college campus can do that you can't do. Nothing.
You have the same teachers. You have the
Same
books,
everything.
You have the same
Opportunities.
24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And many black people at this university, hopefully I'm talking to a few of them, that you will make straight A's at this
Exactly.
school, and you will have a great education, and you will pick a major that's going to be a great investment for your future, and you're going to go on in this country, and you're going to dominate.
Right.
You're going to be great. You're going to raise a family. You're going to do all those things because nobody can.
Nobody.
Stop you.
Yeah.
That should be the.
Nobody
message.
can stop you.
I agree.
But instead, that's
Yeah.
not the message.
Nobody can stop you.
I agree with that. Just one thing. I do feel like because we're black, we do have a little more. We have a lot more challenges than
What challenges
But
though?
I do feel like we all do have the same opportunities like as white people. But I feel like, well, times are very different now. I mean, and I feel like a lot of black people are speaking from a more
Yeah, they're like
they're
in the
speaking
past.
from a past, and it's like America has changed a lot today.
Right.
In some ways, I feel like that's not as significant, but I do feel like in some areas, in some instances, black people do have a little more obstacles
And
than
I
black
agree.
people.
I agree with you. And everybody has obstacles.
Yeah.
We can't feel like we're just uniquely
Right.
situated where we just have more issues than anybody else. Man,
Everybody got problems,
Yeah.
bro.
When I was a cop, and
White,
I
black,
patrolled
Asian, all got
poor white neighborhoods,
all
they had the same
all
issues
got
that I
problems.
remember growing up and experiencing. Just the only difference was they didn't have gangs.
Yeah.
It wasn't no gangs, but poor, ain't got no daddy, ain't got nothing to eat, on food stamps,
Yeah.
terrible schools, getting judged at the stores. I mean, you get a guy coming in with sores on his scratching his neck, man, the store owner like, this is a crackhead, it's a meth head. And they get discriminated against too in some cases. You know, one thing that I think that people should be talking about is classism. Racism is less of an issue in America than classism. If you are Tariq Hill, you can drive, I don't know how many miles per hour and play the victim. Tariq Hill's rich. He can pay a ticket like it's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, if you, P. Diddy, speaking of P. Diddy, how does man go this long doing all that dirt and all of a sudden he get caught, I don't know how many decades later.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got money, you in a different level. I don't care
Right.
what color you are.
Right.
You can afford a lawyer. So if you poor, white, black, or different, you get in trouble with the law, you get a public defender. And that same public defender suck for a black person and white person the same. I'm not saying all of them suck, but they're not equipped like if you had to pay for a person to defend you.
Right.
That's a poor thing. Rich people get away with doing stuff all the time. They get away with these white collar crimes and all this stuff because they got the money to deal with it. Here, you have a question? Come on, ask your question.
No, my brother right here he was next. He been
Okay.
waiting a lot longer than me.
Okay. He can switch you if you want. Go ahead. Oh, one more.
Ah, come
Make
on.
a career change and land your first tech job. Don't waste your money and time on self-paced online.
Okay.
Come on, now we can do half and half.
I'll let him do half and half.
We can do half and half. Yeah, we
I'll
can
go
do half and
first.
half.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I want to say first is that I understand what you're trying to say, and I would like it if more Republicans were like you. However, some of the issues and some of your talking points, I feel like you're removing some context. Like even with the whole thing, you talked about Rosa Parks, how, you know, her husband owned a car and all that. That's not the point. They were doing that to protest. Even if you do have a car, there are probably plenty of black people that did.
Did you hear the part that I said that we had our own bus line?
I know, but we shouldn't have that. Because you were talking about how everyone should be together, we should all unify. But if we stay separate, if we keep having black water fountains and white water fountains, white schools and black schools, we'll never have that unity. And even with these people out here, there are gay, trans people all over the place. And then you have like your little people in the background, oh, only two genders. Like you're not gonna make unity.
We're
You're
provoking
causing-
a conversation so people can come to the mic and have a conversation. That's what it is. If we don't have some issues out here for people to know where we stand or to provoke conversation, nobody's gonna come and talk. So some of those things is to provoke a conversation. Let me talk about Rosa Parks. There's a difference between natural immigration or migration between the races and forced desegregation. When you force it, you cause animosity and chaos. When you let it be a natural thing, it happens a lot more smoother. In the South, even in places where there was discrimination on the law book, not everybody discriminated against each other. There was black and white people getting together all the time. It was certain places where they held true to those structural things that were Democrats put into place to cause division. I don't think that she should have forced that. I think that black people should have had their own bus line and became competitive, and then therefore they merged. Because that's the problem with our societies. We gave up a lot of our own generational wealth trying to get in the bed with a group of people that didn't really want us at the time. We had resources that we forfeited. We had education systems that we could teach our own history if we wanted to, but we forfeited that to stage this issue that wasn't as prevalent as Martin Luther King and the others made it. It wasn't as prevalent. People weren't just killing each other in the Deep South. It was only isolated situations. That's why they traveled to Birmingham. That's why they traveled to hot spots to create chaos, to get us to where? Where did that get black Americans today? Are we more generationally wealthy than we were
Nope.
then? Is racism stopped?
Nope.
Is discrimination stopped? That stuff didn't do nothing. They tried to push a political agenda to benefit themselves and not really benefit black people.
Okay, so I guess like to talk about that. It's like even with like what you're saying right now.
Can you move a little closer to the mic so you can have
Yeah,
your,
even if like what you're saying right now today, we have all races of people at the same bus. And I understand like it should have been more peaceful, but sometimes you need to put force to get what we need.
I don't
Like,
disagree with you.
and it's-
I disagree with how it happened, but I don't disagree with you
But
that
it needed to happen. Even if you disagree with me, it needed to happen. Because
I think it
even
would've
though
naturally-
MLK was peaceful, what happened to him?
No, I think-
MLK wasn't as peaceful.
No, I
What
think that
happened
we're
to
on
him?
the same page. MLK was not violent like we saw in 2020 when people burning down places. That he was not violent. So MLK's approach was way
He's talking
different,
about,
which I respect.
he's talking about that Black Lives Matter and yo, he's wilding.
I think that we should have desegregated. I just think that it should have been a more of a setup where black people were financially stable before we jumped over into these other people's stuff. That's the only thing. Me and you agree that we should desegregate. Me and you agree that it's great that we can all be on the campus together. We agree on that. I just think we should have let it naturally happen and get the government out of the way than for us to try to force the government to put their hand in it. The people, I don't think, would have been segregating themselves. The government mandated Jim Crow laws. That's the government is the problem. And what party initiated that? Democrats. Who still, and black people, 90-some% still vote for these same people that put in these racist laws in Jim Crow.
Yeah, bro. That's what a lot of the black people don't understand is like most of the laws that the Jim Crow era and all that, bro. That was all like Democrats, bro. And like Officer Tatum just said, 90% of black people still vote for the Democrats, bro. It's crazy. But hey, man, let me know what y'all think about this video. Actually, let me see if there's a little bit more I could play because I want to see what that other guy has to say. Yeah, here he comes.
Energy. And if we know about basic physics, energy is just a force, but forces have to be acted upon for them to move.
So let's go with the Republican Party. What did Donald Trump do when he was in office? He secured funding for HBCUs, which I think was a positive.
Yeah.
He had
They won't talk about that though. They won't talk about that though. But
zones, I can't think of the name of it right now, it's skipping my mind. Opportunity zones that he initiated. The First Step Act, which I was a part, me and Candace Owens and others were lobbying Congress, even lobbying against Republicans to get this passed. My uncle got out of prison. He got 40 years fed time for selling dope, and he got out early because of the First Step Act. So these are things that affect the black community, and economic success as a country helps everybody.
But at what cost of other countries, though? You got to think about we stealing.
No,
But we stealing though. We got to think about that, and then we stealing from our own ancestors and our own countries.
Well,
let's
we
talk
have a
good
whole
on it.
argument about the ancestor thing because I think that black people should be more upset with Africans than they should be white people. Because how did we get here?
Well, I'm not African.
No, I'm not saying you.
I'm Caribbean. You see my flag.
Well, they should be mad.
I'm Trinidadian.
You should be mad at the Africans.
I ain't mad at nobody.
Well, okay.
I don't hold grudges.
Let me
That's the
just-
problem. That's the problem that we got because we got narratives that are being pushed for us to be mad, and then we don't know where to take our anger out because first of all, we have emotional intelligence. We're not emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
So there's no,
emotional intelligence.
nowhere for us to go for us to even be able to express ourselves or to even know how to express ourselves. So we take it out on each other, and that's the problem. That's where we at right now.
But see, you have the problem, and you also have the solution. It's to reverse the things that you're saying. So how about when you're on campus, how do you treat your brothers and sisters? How do you treat white people? That's going to be what
folks
makes
know
a difference.
I'm a beacon of light, and I stand with God, one
Perfect.
and only. Everybody know that.
Then you continue to do that, and you'll be a light to other people. Everybody here on campus, the way that you make a change is you being the change yourself. It's the same thing with God. I won't come here with a Bible in my hand and hit y'all over the head with it. You got to live a lifestyle. When you live a lifestyle that people believe is good and moral, people begin to wonder.
All right, well, this kind of got off topic, but hey, let me know what y'all think about this video. I'll link it in the bio below. But yeah, man, crazy that I'm glad that girl pointed that out, and obviously Officer Tatum backed her up. But this whole systemic racism stuff, bro, it's not real, bro. Like, there's just, I just don't know how you could literally believe that just because somebody else is different color skin than you, that they're ahead of you or they have some kind of privilege that you don't have, especially in 2025. But hey, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Take care and peace.